All right, we should be going live, Mr. Joe.
Live. Hello, Facebook. How's everybody doing out there? What y'all up to today?
Facebook. How's everybody doing? We love y'all. This is awesome. You know,
hey guys, I still need something.
I get excited.
I know. Hey, I got a question. I keep asking if anybody knows anything that I can put over my computer screen so my glasses don't glare back so bad. You know, because look at that. That's rough, and that's gotta be rough on y'all. It's rough on me. You know what I mean? Or I got to look down like this. It hurts my neck. But if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. And don't tell me to get those tinted lenses, please. Get different glasses. Don't wear your glasses. Yeah. I had to get a 32-inch monitor so I could see everything.
Right? Because you're getting old, bro.
I'm telling you, I didn't even know I need glasses, Chris.
You're just getting old.
They gave me bifocals. I was like, what?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Not the bifocal.
I got the bifocals, buddy, right here. See, look. See? You're closer. Further away. You're closer.
I see you, brother. I see you.
Further away.
I see
closer.
You. All right. So,
how's everybody doing? Everybody have a good weekend?
Hi, Bethany. Hi, Matt. How you guys doing? Hope y'all had a great weekend.
Yep. I'm still trying to jump on here. Here we go.
So, Bethany says you can wear your sunglasses over your real glasses. Hey, Teen. Hey, Ann. Hey, Krypto, Joe. Everybody's coming. Let's go.
Where are your sunglasses? Where are my sunglasses? Oh.
So, all right, today's a big day. We're giving everybody a minute or two to jump on. Today's a big day because it's number seven of our training, which is awesome, right? I mean, really, that is beyond awesome. We decided at the end of May that we were going to, we were going to do a training, social media training group.
Right.
And Joe and I were just going to talk to you guys about doing social media training. We did that at the end of May. I know I'm trying to get my monitor right and I can't get it just right.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
we decided to do that at the end of May and we started on June 1st. So if you're just joining us, know that that's exactly what you're going to get is social media stuff. Okay. Golden nuggets, things that you can take home with you and put to use. We have been blessed. We have been blessed by having Core 5 folks, Pinnacle Leader folks, Founder folks, and then all of you guys, so what is a Pinnacle? What is a Core 5? What is a Founder? These are people from our organization that Joe and I are building currently. So, it's always a blessing when we can have those folks on and have their support. And we absolutely love that. So, Okay, Joe, we're at 6 minutes past the hour. I believe we're good to go to start. So what do you know, Joe?
Oh, not a lot, Chris. What do you know, buddy? Hey,
I know I had a good weekend.
Yeah, man. Saturday, well, we still work on Saturdays. You know what I mean? So we work kind of like that first part of the day.
Yep.
And then get some things hammered out. You know what I mean? Then Sundays are really kind of like later Saturdays, and then Sundays are kind of our kind of days, to our own. And, it kind of goes with the new training that the company's provided for us. That's just incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Man, you can't beat the price on it.
No.
You can't beat the price.
Not at all.
$1,000 product for free. There you go.
Not at all.
I'm not pushing the company. Sorry. I'm just kidding. Kryptogenics.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cryptojoe.online or eureka.cryptogenics.com.
Hey,
guys, don't think I'm so successful that I don't need people to sign up. I do. Okay?
I'm always spinning people up. Okay.
I answer my phone. Yeah. Man, I was up at 1, 2, 3 this morning. It's like, oh. But hey, that's what happens when you got a global deal. You know what I mean? Some people are like, what? Oh, sorry.
And you're the creative type too. So when your creative juices start flowing, Joe, you give in to them. And I want to say that kind of here and now before we go too much further. And yes, Bethany, I see that you have a question before we get off air today. Gotcha.
Okay, cool.
So I just want to throw this in is, we can't really control our creative juices. Okay. And as leaders, it's difficult, and I'm raising both hands on this one because I'm guilty. Okay. it's difficult for us to turn it off sometimes.
Right.
What I'm learning, and I think Joe's on the other end of that spectrum right now. Joe is kind of learning to give in to the creative juices and just kind of go with it.
A little bit.
And I'm learning that, and this is hard for me because for me, I want to go. Okay. So basically what I want to do is I want to pound the pavement. I want to be on social media. I want to be on my phone. I want to be texting. I want to be talking to people all the time. But here's what I'm learning. I didn't say I was good at it yet. I'm learning that when my mind goes to mush, because I have ADHD. All of you all know that. I am a severe ADHD, bipolar kind of guy, right? And so when my ADHD starts kicking my butt, okay, because I have learned to kind of and I'm gonna pause for just a second and toot my own horn for a minute. Toot toot. Because I have accomplished something that's really important to me. And that is, and I was having this conversation with Joe and my neighbor this morning that was sitting here at the table. I have learned that I've got to kind of put a bubble around and over me. And I kind of have to control my environment. Like, you're in my space, get away. You know, as long as it's not happening in this space, I'm good. The TV can be on, the radio can be on. People can come and go in and out of the house. My son can be over there tearing up the world and I don't know it because, and Jeff will say to me, I was talking to you. Did you not hear me? No, I didn't hear you because you weren't in my bubble. Right. Okay. Because the only way that I can control my ADHD, and I guess I didn't really understand this until we were having this conversation this morning, Joe, without medication, is for me to put the bubble. Okay. Yeah. And so what I'm learning, so that's my toot my horn. I've learned that I need that bubble. Okay. Yeah. Toot, toot. But what I'm learning is that when my mind gets to a point to where I can't keep the force field up, the bubble intact, when everything is getting my attention, I'm getting nothing done. And so I need to give in to myself and say, okay, I'm tired. Yeah. I'm not effective. I'm not learning. I'm not grasping anything that I'm reading or doing or writing. I'm not my best me. Okay. And that's not fair to you all. Okay. It's not fair to my team. It's not fair to my family. It's not fair to my friends. It's not fair to Joe. It's not fair to me even. If I can't be my best me and I can't do my best, then I need to say, okay, it's time for me to step off. Right. And just leave the platform for a little while and recharge. Okay. And so I kind of ran into that this weekend, Joe, and you know that.
Oh, yeah. But you had some fun, though, didn't you?
Because we confide in each other all the time. We don't just do this show, y'all. We're on the phone constantly. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? So, my son was invited. It's our 1 year anniversary with my son. And that was on the 10th of June. And so on his 1 year anniversary, thank you. On his 1 year anniversary, we actually took off and went to Mama and Papa's and went down to their beach place, and they call it our beach place, but it's their beach place. But I guess they're so old, they figure, they're just using it or something. I don't know. I'm just picking.
Like, all right.
Anyway, I love them. I do. They get on my nerves, I'm gonna tell y'all, but I love them. But at the end of the day, we went down there and we participated in a really nice cookout. We had some downtime. We helped them with a couple little things on the place, and we went to the pool. And because it was, you have to understand, it's peak season here. Yeah. So getting to the beach and finding a place that 6 or 8 people can gather and not be trampled on or not hear or see all the wrong things. Because I still, at the end of the day, guys, I still have an 8-year-old. Okay. And he's fairly innocent. I'd like to keep him that way as long as I can. Yeah. So we went over to the pool and we had a blast. And, the pool was perfect. The water was perfect. The chlorine level was perfect. Everything was perfect. And we enjoyed our day. And then yesterday, I really tried. I sat at my computer. I opened up my stuff. I wanted to get some training. And my mind was it was everywhere else. Except the training. Right. Like it was all over everything except the training. And I was like, I can't do this today. I just can't do this today. So luckily, my son's best friend's family invited us over, and you saw that water slide. I sent you a picture of the water slide.
That looked like fun.
We went over and spent the day over there, and I went down the water slide one time. That's enough.
Is that a little pond on their property, or is it a creek? It's a pond.
Pond. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell by the picture if I just saw water and I didn't know if it was flowing through or if it was, actual just a pond. But cool.
And today, because I did that over the weekend, today I'm so much clearer. Like Joe and I were talking. I had a neighbor sitting right here next to me at my kitchen table, like right here. Okay. Yeah. He had a cup of coffee. I paid him no mind. Like it was like he didn't even exist. So I knew that my force field was up, right? My bubble was working. Yeah. Joe, you know about the bubble, don't you?
Joe, I know about the bubble, buddy. I'm just like, and I'm one of those people that I'm so, that I need white noise or I have no clue what's going on. Or if I get focused on something, there's nothing else. I mean, absolutely nothing. But I don't like focusing on, the only thing is when I do that, I'm trying too hard usually. And so I really don't retain information. Like going through the training, like yesterday, I tried to give you the training quite a few times and I kept getting interrupted. So I kept going back, and I mean, the interruptions were fine. It wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? But it's real weird when you're running a business, but you're taking training for that business, but you also have to handle the actual business. It's like, hey man, we're learning how to be better at what we do. But at the same time, we're still doing it, even our not so perfect selves or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, I can't say, no, I'm not going to take this call and make a deal, so I can do the training. No, that's pointless. The training so you can get the deal,
And what's funny about that you say that, Joe, because our mentor who actually wrote the training and is giving the training, he actually says that, from 9 to 9, we should not be training. We should not be learning. Right. We should be focused on our business. Right. Now, I can't say that. I cannot tell you all to do that. Okay. And I cannot personally do 9 to 9. So what I did was I set times that are business times. Like I am devoting this amount of time to building my business. Right. This part of my time is spent on learning and creating my business mind. This part of my time is helping my team. So I broke it up into blocks because
that's good.
At the end of the day, I'm still a dadpreneur and, we're out of school today's his first Monday out of school, but at the end of the day, he still needs me. Still, I still have to participate in his life. Yeah. So, on that,
still got to eat breakfast and lunch.
Exactly.
You're like,
on that note, okay. I didn't get up until 8 this morning instead of the 5:30 alarm.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure how I feel about. Really, it's new. I'll give it a couple more days before I decide.
Give it a few days before you get rid of it. I mean, because it's going to feel funny for a couple days, but it may start. You may start feeling more refreshed. And the whole purpose of this, especially with the training, is Chris gets up and he does a lot of stuff for everybody else. He's going through a lot of information. He's putting a lot of information out there for all of us, and he's doing a lot of extra work. Now, that's a wonderful thing, and you're a great leader, buddy. But what we need to focus on everybody else, okay, is go, hey, Chris, where are you getting that information? And he'll go, hey, I'm getting it over here, and I'm getting it over here. I get all these news feeds from, Bitcoin news, or they all just pop up on my screen. I don't know the names of them. I'm sorry. But and we went through this with Brandon also, and let's take some accountability for ourselves. You know what I mean? And maybe try and give Chris just a little bit of a break. I mean, he's going to do it anyways. But I'm sharing. But camera, you're fine, babe. Oh, sorry, Gloria's right here. Krypto Glow.
Hey, Krypto Glow.
Oh, it's just Chris.
We love you.
Hey, no, we're on live. Zoom. Oh, yeah, sorry. No, I'm live on.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, babe. How
Did you
are
hear
you?
Goes, hi. Yeah.
We love you. Yeah. So, Joe is
but what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I'm not saying Chris doesn't want to do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's all be responsible for ourselves a little bit, and, become the leader. Let's make ourselves into the leader he is. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. At the end of the day.
But you can keep sending me all that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what?
Just kidding, guys.
It's kind of
I was just kidding about that.
what's really cool is people are learning and they're picking it up.
Right.
You know? And that's really the whole point behind the share is because if you click on the articles, you know, it doesn't take a genius to look in the search bar and there's where I got it. It's not like I'm trying to hide it or clone it or, you know, claim it as my own. I'm not doing any of that, right? No. Like I'm just sharing other information. So since we're sharing other information, let's get started with our social media training. Okay. And, you know, Joe, we're in day 7. Can you believe this?
Yeah, we're quite a ways into it now.
7th day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
So the first 7 days, we had a few guest stars, right?
Yes, we did.
And
quite a few, really.
We did really for our first 7 days. Yeah. And then we also had a big, huge live event. So one whole day was that.
Yeah.
And then we gave the 5 top things that we should all be doing if we want to be leaders on social media, right?
That's right. You want to go? Let's go over those 5 real quick. And guys, we've been through them over and over again, so we're just gonna kind of hit it. Okay.
Yeah.
First one: list them out, brother. Stories. Okay. Use personal stories. People are interested in you, whether you know it or not. They are. Why do you think reality? Every time you turn the TV on, it's all reality TV. Okay. Pretty much, it's that or police dramas, I think. Pretty much, you know, but you know, people are very interested in that.
Yeah.
Number 2.
If Kim Kardashian taught us anything, she taught us that people were interested in other people's lives.
You know, I'm gonna send her an Instagram and see if she'd be interested in cryptogenics last week.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, pick me up something to eat, would you? Sorry. See, that's real life for you, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. We're live.
Oh, okay. Number 2. Let's your personal philosophy. Chris, you want to take that one?
Personal philosophy. It's just kind of gives people a feeling about how you think, where your mind is, and you know where you're going in life. That's kind of personal philosophy. Yeah. Remember, you probably want to stay away from religion and politics.
Yeah.
Those 2 things seem to be most people's hot buttons, and it's just best to leave that alone because you could alienate yourself from a really good friend and or teammate just because you don't see eye to eye on those 2 things. So just leave them out.
Exactly. Then we got, you know, you throw you some lifestyle posts up there, the things you do, you know, like what do you do? And you don't have to get out. Now, we want everybody to get out, have fun and do stuff and take pictures and this and that. But, you know, if you don't have the opportunity to get out and do a lot of stuff, you know, hey, maybe you live way back in the woods or something. You know what I mean? You're like, well, I can take some pictures, some deer or some, the raccoons or, you know, or whatever. You know what I mean? But let's say maybe you really like hot rods. Well, you look at hot rods on the internet, don't you? You know what I mean? Just take a picture of it and go, hey, man, I really like this car. You know, and those kind of things say a lot about people. You know, that helps people get to know you. You know,
right.
Create content, same thing right there. You know, those 2 go so hand in hand. By sharing, you are creating content. You don't need something to talk about.
Nope.
It's just going to happen. You know what I mean? Someone's going to come with a question. You'll be like, man, I really love this, you know, 69 Barracuda. Or, you know, man, GTO Judge, my favorite car. You know what I mean? Boom, that's content right there. You know what I mean? What else do I like? Bob, I like cryptocurrencies, you know, or whatever, you know. Last one, pure strategy. Step by step. Know what you're doing with it, guys. You know, think, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Now, enjoy it, but have it planned. And then before you know it, you're going to be doing dumb stuff like me and putting your soft tacos and chili cheese fries on the thing. You're like, I'm going to show everybody I'm eating these because they're jealous. And I was doing it thinking Albert was going to see it, you know, because Albert's like, man, quit putting pictures of cakes up there. I'm dieting. I'm working out. I'm like, sorry, buddy.
Hey, Steve. Nice to see you. Hey, Shelly.
Hey, Steve. Hey.
It looks like we got
Brad's on here too. Is Brad here?
Today.
Where's Big Tall Brad at? Brad's here.
Hey,
somewhere.
Big Tall Brad. Hey, Brad. So today's little nugget, thanks, Joe, for helping us get through those 5. No, I just happened to look down and see a couple people that I knew we hadn't said hello to. I like to try to say hello to most people if I can. You know, it's nice to be recognized, and it's nice to know that those folks are following us. And by me saying it, it reminds me that they're here, you know? So I think that I think the thing that we're going to talk about today is proper etiquette. And this is going to be a little bit of a series as well. But the first thing that we're going to attack is proper etiquette on social media platforms. Okay. So, you know, and you might listen to this or be watching this and go, really? We're going to talk about this? Why are we talking about this? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this because you would not believe how many people don't have proper etiquette. Okay. And I'm not beating anybody up. You know, I'm not saying it in a bad way.
Not picking.
No. Yeah. No. And I think it's just a lack of anybody ever sharing, you know, just sharing the expectations, if you will. Hey, John. Hey, Emma. It's the expectations. So, you know, at the end of the day, this is kind of what we want to talk about. So we want to talk about proper etiquette. And what's the first thing that we're going to talk about proper etiquette on, Joe?
Let's talk about when we get on like the presentation Zoom calls, you know, and you have that moment where we're waiting. Let's talk about Zooms. And especially our presentations, you know, now, not particularly what we do here, you know, because we don't, it's not opened up.
This is informal.
Yeah, this is informal. And this is not opened up. I mean, but if you notice, we go, hey guys, how you doing? Welcome. Hey, Facebook, I'm Joe. Or Chris goes, say, hey, Joe. And I go, hey, Joe. You know what I mean? Hey, it's funny. Okay. But anyways.
It works.
Yeah. But like on the Zooms, and Brandon's really good about this. He goes, hey, man, well, as soon as you jump on, man, come in, say your name, say where you're from. And what that's doing is that's introducing yourself to everyone. You know, because, you know, we're in social media. We're all sitting in front of a computer or a telephone or cell phone, I guess. Are they still called telephones if they're a cell phone? No, I guess they're not.
I guess. I don't know.
No, because it's not a tele. It's a, forget it. Sorry. See what I mean? Squirrel. Anyways.
Go back in your dome, Joe.
I'm going back. I'm sorry. But, you know, announce yourself. Say hello, you know. And it's just friendly, but it's also a polite thing. You know, being now, and there's a lot of things like now, Chris and I were both from the southern part of the country. You know what I mean? And Southerners are known for being polite. I mean, they really are. You may not agree, you know what I mean? And they may not like you, but they'll say, oh, God bless them. And God, when somebody says, well, God bless you, there's usually they don't like you. That's just a nice way of saying, get off my porch and take the tea with you.
Oh, my goodness.
If you don't get offered lemonade or tea, you probably just ought to go.
They don't want you around.
Yeah, they don't want you around. Oh, God bless their soul. It's not like a wonderful thing, but there's a lot of expletives in there that you just don't understand. You're not hearing.
I know, right? Like,
it really is. Like,
it's just an undertone.
It's funny. But
so, you know, Joe, you're right about that. And here's the thing about a social media platform, and we're gonna say Zoom specifically today.
Right.
Okay. So Zoom is one of our greatest tools, y'all. If you don't have it, get it. Like we're on Zoom right now, even though we're on live.
It's free.
Okay. Well, this isn't, but you could get a Zoom account for free. Yes.
Use it. That it is free. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But Joe and I use Zoom every single day. Like even when we want to communicate with one another, it's just easier for us to pop the window. You know?
Yeah, it really is.
And it helps each other to see what's going through, because we're so ADHD, we can read each other's ADHD mind, which is scary. Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, Zoom is a great, great tool. Like Joe said, you can get a free account, and you really ought to have your own free account, because you don't want to wait until you need that account to learn how to use it, first of all. Right. Second of all, you may not think you need it today, but out of the clear blue, something might pop up. Oh, I'm scratching. Sorry, guys. I was in the sun for 2 days, so my skin itches just a little bit because I got a little bit of a tan. You know, I'm not quite so pale. But anyway.
Looking kind of Cuban.
Yeah, looking kind of Cuban. So rabbit hole, right? So the Zoom is the tool that you're going to probably create the most profitability with your business. Okay. And I say that, number one, because it's free. Joe and I always advocate free tools first.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Free tools first. And a free tool, just know this, when you get a free tool, there are always going to be things that you can unlock if you buy into that tool.
Yeah, there'll always be a premium product, but
don't ever buy the top. Okay. Guys, gals, don't ever buy the top. And the reason I say that is because you want to grow your Zoom with your business. Right. Because there's going to be a whole lot of things up here at the top that you're going to be paying for you're not using. Okay. Yeah. So just buy what you need. Like, for instance, I have a pro account, okay, which costs, I don't know, I think it's $14 or $15 a month, I think, and give you a break if you pay it for it by the year. They knock so much off. And then what we're using right now is a whole different service within Zoom. And I didn't have this until Joe and I decided we wanted it, right? Yeah, and so we didn't pay the $40 a month for this part when we weren't using it.
Exactly.
So, buy only the parts you need. And if you need help with that, get with Joe and I will help you, make that decision. Don't look at it, because it can be confusing. You can look at it and go, well, which one do I need and why and all this stuff. Don't do that. Get with us. We'll be glad to help you with that. So now, more on the line of using it. Like Joe said so eloquently, and he does such a good job. That's why I love for him to open stuff up, because ordinarily he opens from the point of view of the lay guy. Okay. Because he's coming to you guys as a new person in the industry. Okay. So he gives it to you from that new side. I love that. So what we have to do when we do Zoom is the proper protocol, if you want, and you can write this down, is you want to log into your Zoom account. You want to join your meeting, right? When you join your meeting, you're going to hear ding. Okay. When you join that meeting and you hear ding, you want to say, hey, this is Chris from Coastal Carolina. How's everybody doing today? Okay. I'm announcing the fact that I've arrived in the room. All right. It is, number one, it is polite, and we want to use our manners. Number two, it lets the moderator. What's a moderator? A moderator is the person running the call. Okay. Oftentimes when Joe and I do presentations, Joe is in moderator role. Right. Okay. So he's co-host, because you have to assign somebody. So he's co-host, but he's running the call from the back of the room, basically keeping everybody quiet, muting people if they come in late, cutting their video off, just getting rid of the distractions.
Reading the chat stuff.
Monitoring the chat.
Afterwards, things like that.
Monitoring the chat. That's all moderator role, y'all. And let me tell you something, and I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest here. Even if you're not doing a co-hosting presentation, okay, which Joe and I do every week for the company, twice a week, and anytime that someone in our team needs one. Right. So even if you're not co-presenting, you still want to have that person that has your back in moderator role. Because if you're trying to do this stuff by yourself and you're in the middle of a presentation and somebody pops in 10 minutes in and they don't mute, they don't turn off their video, all of a sudden you've got this video on your screen and, it's distracting everybody. They might
be drawing on the screen.
They might be cooking or correcting their kids in the background.
They're yelling. They're just getting out of the shower.
You're all that.
Don't know their cameras on.
Or worse yet, they're naked on your screen.
This happens.
It does happen, y'all. So, it's good to have somebody, because as a presenter, if I'm in presentation mode, let me just tell you what I see. I see nothing except the presentation. I don't know that naked person's running across the screen. Now, the things that I can hear, I can't really do a whole lot about unless I stop the presentation, hit escape, and go into moderator mode. When I go into moderator mode, if I'm recording, everybody sees all that in the replay. Okay. Right. It's just a really good idea to say to your buddy, maybe it's the first person you put in your business, whatever. Hey, I've got a presentation at this time. Do you mind being the moderator? It's just good, it's good protocol. Now, so you've logged in, right? You've logged in. You've said, hey, you're there. You've let the ding go off. You said, hey, you're there. And so then what do? Well, you check yourself, right? If you don't have your Zoom, and you can set up your preferences in your Zoom, by the way.
Yeah.
If you don't have your Zoom set to mute audio and mute video automatically when you join, then you should mute yourself on your side. Okay.
Yeah, you really should. I've got mine turned off on me and you here.
Yeah.
But I mean, because I'm just like, hey, we don't care. You know what I mean? But when we go to the other rooms, all my things are set to where, you have to turn your voice on. You have to turn your audio on. You have to turn your video on. And really that's the way of saving you some embarrassment. Or possible alienation or something. I mean, who knows? There's no telling what you may be talking about. What people say in their own homes, that's really nobody else's business. You know what I mean?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You mean like that?
Like you don't want to be, or maybe you're having an argument with your kids or your spouse, or the neighbor came over and they're mad because your dog went to the bathroom in their yard and there's going to be some expletives used. You know what I mean? So just, you know what I'm saying? Be mindful.
Like that one time, Joe, that I didn't know I was on the camera and I said an ugly, dirty word.
Oh,
and
I never heard you say
really,
that. I never heard you say a dirty word.
To do that, and then
I think I accidentally did that today. But I said it in a nice way.
Out, buddy. She wants to go outside.
See, it wasn't like a mean word. I mean, it was an expletive, but it wasn't in a bad tone. It was more of a descriptive expletive.
Yeah.
So
see, there you go. I'm a dadpreneur for sure, right? Like I'm instructing my son to let the dog out. Okay. Well, yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
This is different. We're not formal here. This is
yeah. He wouldn't do that if I was in presentation mode. I'm 9 out of 10% sure. So he loves me. I love him. He's a great kid. That's all I'm going to say about that. So what else should we do? Okay. And this is a big one. This is a really big one that most people don't know. Okay. Most people don't know they should mute their camera. Most people don't know they should mute their microphone.
Right.
But the third thing that they don't know is you really should communicate with the other attendees.
Yeah. Type hello
in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of times they're your teammates.
That's not rude or disrespectful. Okay, right. Just so you know, that's not rude or disrespectful. Oftentimes the presenter, as I said, the presenter can't see what's going on most of the time behind the screen. That's usually my job. Okay, so there could be a question that's asked in there. Mm-hmm. I, as a presenter, have no idea. I don't know that question's been asked. Right. So, communicate with your fellow attendees, say where you're from, ask other people where they're from. You can create huge relationships just attending stuff. Okay.
Exactly. Where's Renee at?
So that's the third thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Bethany said, hi, Renee. I was just wondering if it's mine.
Oh, okay.
Crypto glows, Renee. Yeah. Sorry. If so, hello. Sorry, sidetracked. I was doing the moderating, Chris.
A bunch of that. Yes, I see. So, that's the three major things. Okay. That's the three major protocols that you should know and be involved in on every single presentation on Zoom. If you're not the host, then it's your job as an attendee to kind of help build the atmosphere. I'm not saying hype, especially at KGX. Okay. Yeah, we are not about hype at KGX. I don't know about other companies. I can't speak for other companies. And my idea of hype, just so we can get that definition for vocabulary purposes, Joe, vocabulary word hype, just so we can get that definition knocked out of the door. My definition of hype is, oh my God, we're the best company in the world. Everybody needs to join us. Wait till you see what's coming. Everything coming down the pipeline is absolutely amazing. You're not going to believe this. This is life changing. It's a paradigm shift. It's blah, 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 blah.
It's a paradigm shift?
That is hype. Okay.
I'm afraid it's paradigm shift. Wait a second. I was watching YouTube yesterday, and YouTube, anything that's on YouTube is absolutely true. So, okay, I'm just gonna give you a little insight into my brain. Okay,
go ahead, buddy.
Okay, so I watch this stuff on YouTube that I'm like, and I'm not talking about anybody. Hey man, believe anything you want to believe. You know what I mean? But I watch a lot of conspiracy theory stuff and things like this, and flat Earths and ancient aliens and lizard people and ant people and all kinds of them. Anyways, but like I do it because it's kind of entertaining. And it gives me an insight in a way to how some other people might think. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's on YouTube. It's got 1 million views. You know what I mean? They're like, huh, somebody's watching this, you know, and maybe not everybody's watching it thinking, you know, I watch a lot of stuff on like Masons and Illuminati and stuff, but I'm like, I got 3 generations of Freemasons in the family.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I mean, you know, it's like, oh, okay. I didn't know we were satanic. You know, like, oh, what?
The things we learn, right?
I mean, you never know. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay.
The things we learn. You know?
Yeah, things you learn. You're like, oh, okay.
But
I watch a lot of this stuff just to get other people's opinions. You know what I mean? Like what I just said, I would have never known that if I had to watch that on Freemason, that people think that or anything. Or I really wouldn't. I mean, it's just not something that comes up in conversation because, well, you don't talk about that anyways. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay. Shocking.
Nope. Well, here's something else that is really kind of crazy to me. And that is that people, you know, and I like to do things. I guess I've been in this industry for a long time. And so we didn't used to have Zooms, y'all. Yeah. The only thing we had was a conference line, and you were a big builder. You were a big shot in the industry if you had a conference line.
Right.
Okay, seriously. And so the conference line is another conversation. We'll talk about that, but it kind of goes with Zoom. We could talk about it. We can talk about conference line now. So conference line is Zoom without video. That's it.
Just calling.
But it dings when you come on. You should say, hey, this is Chris from Coastal Carolina. How's everybody doing? You know, if the moderator and or the host is not present, you should jump into that role. You should take that role when someone dings and the ding goes off and nobody says anything. Say, hey, this is Chris, and I'm just waiting for the host, and I'm kind of welcoming everybody to the call. Who just came on? Announce yourself, please. And, you know, Joe might pop on and say, hey, this is Joe from Eureka Springs. Maybe he didn't know he was supposed to announce himself, right? So at the end of the day, what I like to see happen, and Joe and I are going to start doing this, okay, on our presentations and stuff, is that you unmute and allow everyone to say, thanks for the call. We had a great time. Bye, everybody. Yeah. And it just kind of lets everyone have closure on the call. I'm old school. I enjoy that. That's for me. That's for Chris. Okay. Has nothing to do with presentation. I don't know if other people like it or not. I like it. So I'm going to put it back in. I feel like it's the close to the call. Okay. I've been talking for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. And I've given the people on the call no opportunity to say anything. Now, you're probably wondering why we don't, and I get this question all the time, why don't you open it up to Q&A at the end of every call? Oh, no. It's bad idea.
It's a time thing, too. A lot of it.
There are two major reasons. The first one is time, just like Joe said, time. The first one is time.
Yeah.
You could go down a rabbit hole with Q&A that could take you another whole hour. Most people don't have that. Okay. Most people don't have that. Right. If you're going to open it up to Q&A, and I said if, and that's a very big if, you designate at the beginning of the call that this is this call is going to be approximately 1 hour. And the last 15 minutes, we will open it up to Q&A, and we will answer one question per person. And you leave it at that.
As long as it's deemed acceptable also.
Right.
Because there's that other part of that rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Where someone's trying to be a jerk and ask something stupid, and you're like, hey, you know what I mean? Or come in there and talk trash about what you're doing, and that's not going to be okay. You know what I mean? It's just it's not acceptable because it's rude to everyone else, you know?
Right. At the end of that 15 minutes, you're going to cut it off and you're going to say, thank you, everybody, for your Q&A. We look forward to hearing from you guys and talking to you next time. You end your call. Okay. Right. You end it. You are in control. You are the presenter. Now, the second reason, and Joe just kind of touched on it, and he may or may not even really knew that that's what he was doing, was there are people out there, and I know this is hard for all of us to wrap our minds around because we would never do this. Okay. And we are not those people, but there are people out there that fish, that come to presentations, that see links, that just come because they know they're business minded people going to be on the call, and they'll try to fish you. Okay. And that's another reason why you need to have a moderator watching the comments.
Right.
Okay. Because what you guys don't know is when I make Joe a co-host, a moderator, I have given him all of the same ability to do everything that I can do. Everything. Okay. So if somebody's asking the wrong questions or somebody's trying to recruit people in the chat or whatever, he could just remove them. He can remove them and block them even from coming back in.
Yeah.
You know, so there are people out there literally that they build their organizations by doing this. And I know it sounds bizarre. I know it sounds inappropriate because that's not the kind of people that we are, but it happens every single day. They go into these groups and they go into these calls with the intention of befriending people that are there only to lure them over to their thing. Okay. So the reason we don't open up by and large, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, up to Q&A at the end of a call is because we're not 100% sure who's in the call. And these people, if you open up, these people have been known to bash your company, say ugly things, use inappropriate language, ask questions that are non-relevant to the information presented. Exactly. So you normally open Q&A up to a closed group of people that are like-minded. Okay. Right. And I say that with a lot of love and a lot of heart. It's not that you don't want to answer people's questions. It's that you don't want to give that troll, for the lack of a better word, because that's what they're doing. They're trolling, you know. And if you don't know the definition of troll, let me offer this. You troll when you're fishing. Okay. So you throw it out and you reel in, and you throw it out and you reel in. That's trolling. Okay. So you don't want to give that troll the opportunity to taint your presentation in any way, shape, or form. Okay. So
what's wrong?
I hope that has illuminated some. Go ahead. I hope that's illuminated some of the questions about etiquette and manners and proper procedure, if you will. I know that if you've been on any call that Brandon Ivy has been moderating or the host of, it is protocol that he will ask people as they come on, please announce yourself. Let us know where you're from. He's not doing that to be nice. He's doing that to try to train people to do that from the beginning. It is kind of a difficult, touchy subject sometimes when people come in and they don't announce themselves. It makes you feel as if though there's a troll in your environment, whether there is or isn't. Okay. So it's an uncomfortable feeling for the host when you have 39 people on a call and you've only heard 38 names. Okay. There's just that uncomfortable feeling. It can throw the host entirely off. It can take the host down a road they didn't mean to go down. It can actually completely taint the entire presentation. Yeah. So, that's why we do what we do. Okay. So I want to show some of you guys something that I did over the weekend that's not social media content provided. Okay. So I told you guys that I was going to create these coins, right? Mm-hmm. And that I was going to put my information on the back. So I did exactly that. I just wanted, for accountability purposes, I just wanted to show you guys that I do what I say I'm going to do. And even though I'm not that guy that's out and about all that much, okay, I am out and about enough that I got rid of about 10 of these this weekend.
Cool.
10, I had them in my pocket.
Yeah.
And everywhere I went, I just left them. So that is what I wanted to say about that. I know Bethany had a question, a direct question that she wanted to us to address.
So,
huh? What's that?
Sorry, I didn't realize it had gotten so late. Sorry, I had a puppy dog issue. Sorry.
That's all right. So Bethany, if you'd be so kind, because we do have a delay as we're going through the KGX updates, I just wanted you to put that in there so that we can be sure to address before we close out our call. So the KGX updates, I can't talk numbers, but I can say, I can say what I can say, and I can say this, okay? If you are not participating in the fork in CryptoJax, you are missing out. You are missing out. And I'm going to tell you that because, what?
Why wouldn't you participate in the fork?
Well, okay.
You don't have a choice.
You do and you don't.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to be trying to be involved. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I guess you got a point. I see what you're saying. I see where you're going.
You can say,
say,
you know,
it's more rewarding than it normally would be. How's that? That work? Yeah. Why would you not want to participate? Sorry, Chris.
Would it be possible to this live at this time for the summer?
All the time.
Oh, you mean move it to 1 o'clock permanently? Is that what you mean, Bethany? So some people choose not to put in their people this week because they allow everything else to get in the way of their business.
Oh.
What I'm going to say is that we know that we have the fork through the end of June.
Right.
And everyone should do their very best at qualifying for the fork. Now, why? Okay. So this week that just passed, that we just got paid for
3 times,
I made sure that I put at least one new person in my business. Okay. And I worked diligently with a couple people that I had been talking with, because I knew that it was about time for somebody to pop. Okay.
Right.
So one of my gentlemen from Dubai had been fed enough information, had gone down the road enough that they knew that it was, it was the right time. So I touched base with 2 or 3 different people that I'd been talking to. When I touched base with them, one of my guys from Dubai said yes. Now, because that one guy from Dubai said yes, it made a difference. It made a difference. And I could say this number.
Yeah, you made a big difference.
It made a difference in my paycheck, because had I not enrolled this one guy personally, okay, I had a lady in my team, right, that's in South Africa. That lady put in 16 people this week in this pay period, 16 at one time. Now, that made a difference of $25 per pay step, right? That I got per pay step.
Yeah.
Or this week,
75.
the fork paid $75. That's a huge difference, y'all.
That's a big
difference. A huge difference. Okay. Now,
we show the
did I know that was going to happen? I had no idea. No idea. Okay. You never know who your leaders are. What's that?
Will you show your coin real quick?
Sure.
Just hold
you
it
never
up
know.
So somebody can see the information on there. It kind of.
Sure. You never know who is doing what. And you never know who is going to put in the people that they're going to put in. So that's on the one side, y'all. And then I left Bitcoin on the other side. And these coins are plastic, and they came from Amazon, and they were like 100 for nothing, $5-10. I don't even know. I forgot. I bought them a long time ago. They've been sitting on my desk collecting dust. So I decided that instead of business cards, I would just do this. Just so you know, that cryptochris.com, that goes directly to my Cryptogenic site. Okay, so it takes them to my control panel, and that is going to be changing in the near future. So you guys need to watch that. Watch the back office for that. It's going to be changing. Our landing page for our control panel is going to be changing. It's going to actually have those all of those languages on the left-hand column that we talk about, and that information at the bottom. Yep. So it's really going to look like the slide looks. They're working on it. So that's going to be hitting us. So that's why I wanted to say to you guys, yep. Yep. So I wanted to say to you guys that, we never know what our team is doing. And remember, our ultimate goal as leaders is to create larger teams, right? To create teams that build effective teams without us doing anything. Now, I want to give you a picture here. I sponsored personally a lady in South Africa who her and I spoke back and forth. And we built a rapport. We built a relationship. Remember, Kathy talked about relationships right here on social media, on Facebook. Her and I talked back and forth. We liked each other. We liked each other's mentality. Okay. And we decided that what we were going to do, Bethany, the stickers came from stickersonline.com, I believe. And I got 3,000 for $16. And then I just put them in my printer and printed them myself. Easy peasy. And they give you the free software to create your own label when you buy those labels. Sorry, I didn't see all those questions. I apologize.
I typed stickers.
So what we did was we created a rapport with one another, and I sponsored her. Now, she sponsored another person that she's close to and has a crypto relationship with over in South Africa. And that person sponsored the person who put in the 16 people. Okay. So you never know what your team is going to do. You never know who knows who. That's why I'm saying every week your goal should be to sponsor that one person or get someone that has been sponsored by you to activate their rig level, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Because that's how you qualify for the fork. That's how you qualify for the fork. In other news at Cryptogenics, we had the boot camp. Something went wrong. Something went awry. I take full responsibility. I don't know. I had five different things loading, and apparently the computer didn't like that. I'm guessing because it canceled them all. So I've got to try to get all 5 of those reloaded today and get those up and running. I thought all I was going to have to do this morning was actually put them on the YouTube channel and throw them up. That did not happen. I am so sorry about that. But we had the boot camp. The boot camp videos were also live from Don McCullough's Facebook page. So you can always go to Don McCullough's Facebook page and tap into her if you need them before I can get them up. So I apologize for that. That is completely my fault.
And then we're going to start doing that's the other thing on the boot camps. It seems like they want the boot camps to be our kind of new format.
It is going to be, yes.
And they're going to do maybe some mini boot camps also. And that's something that everyone can get involved in their own communities. You know, it doesn't have to be some giant thing. You know what I mean? You just need to be able to show the presentation, and things like that. Get involved. You want to build, get involved. You can't sit on your thumbs, sit on your hands or whatever, you know what I mean? And say, why ain't anything happening? You got to get out there. Right. I know everybody wants to do presentations. You know what I mean? I understand that.
Absolutely.
And not everybody has to, not everybody needs to. But, and that's another thing. You can always come to, those of us that do give presentations and ask, hey, can we do a special presentation for this group of people or this one person?
Correct.
And that's exactly what we're here for. That's why we learned how to do them. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That's why we, but
we will do the heavy lifting for you guys. Don't worry about that. We will most definitely do that. You know, just because there's a time difference too, and I want to throw that out there for all those folks that watch the replays and stuff. Lana, the Aussie group, our Dubai group, our Nigerian group,
Abu Dhabi.
You know, we're here. If we need to take a nap, and literally, I mean, like I could take a 2-hour nap if I need to. You know, we'll take a nap and then we'll present. It's not that big a deal. But what I do also want you guys to understand is the boot camp thing. And if you didn't get an opportunity to watch it, if you didn't get an opportunity to catch any of it, it was very successful. And this is the reason it was successful. Okay. It was successful because it was not just a cryptogenics event. Okay. It was not just a cryptogenics event. What it was actually billed as was a crypto education event.
Exactly.
Okay. So it was a boot camp that talked about blockchains. It talked about Bitcoins. It talked about altcoins. It talked about ICOs. It talked about wallets. It talked about how to buy Bitcoins. It was an informational system shoved into one day, 8 hours. Okay. And at the end of that, only the people that were interested in that education that they had just received, they were invited to stay for a private presentation, live presentation on cryptogenics.
Exactly.
Now, was that effective? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was that worth duplicating? Absolutely.
Yep.
And we've been looking and trying to get our hands on what works and see the right way to do this. Now, this event did cost people. Okay. So at the end of the day, this event costed people because we didn't want people to come with no skin in the game. We wanted people that were serious and that understood. I apologize for that alarm, y'all. That understood that they were going to need to put some skin in the game. Okay, so that's why that was so successful. That's why we did the things that we did. Will it be replicatable? Absolutely. Now, the great news about that is we're going to do mini ones and we're going to do big ones. Okay. And we're going to do them all around the world.
Yeah.
But we're also going to, what we've been doing, I'm just going to be completely honest. Bethany said Rob had them all taped. Yeah, he taped them with Dawn's phone, Bethany. Yeah. And this is the way it looks. You know, we're doing live streaming video, and then we have been so fortunate, Joe and I have been so fortunate to actually be the ones to take it live on the internet to Facebook and kind of let people participate that way. We will continue doing that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
However, what we're talking about being able to give as an additional service is a virtual, a professionally recorded virtual presentation of the boot camp.
Right.
So that is something that's coming in the works as well, where you'll be able to just go to your back office and pick it out of your back office, and you can give it to people, and it will be just like being there, only you don't get to touch the peoples. Okay. And there's a lot to be said about being able to touch the people. Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So, you know, just make sure you're not touching inappropriately, but touch the people. So, you know, with that being said, Joe and I have had a fantastic time. You guys have been great as always. We hope that you got a lot of value out of this particular call. You know, and again, we're not chastising or popping anybody's hands for their behavior in a Zoom or anything like that. We're just trying to help people to understand the proper procedure and the way that it should be done. You know, it's kind of like going to a classroom. You don't go into a classroom and become the class clown. You go in the classroom to learn. So,
and when you do ask questions, try to know what you're asking. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, try to think about the question before you actually answer it or ask it.
Right.
You know, because a lot of times you're asking a question you don't actually, and you're not getting the answer you want because you're not asking the right question. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, well, how's that work? And somebody says how it works, you know, that's not what I meant. Well, it's not that person's fault for not answering you because you didn't, you know what I mean? Just one of those things. Be mindful.
Absolutely.
And polite.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So we covered 2 today. We covered Zoom and we covered conference calls.
Yep.
Okay. And they're the exact same, ones with video, ones without. We've gone over a little bit today, but that's okay. Everybody stuck with us. Thank you for that. The proper answer, Bethany, is Joe and I will go over our schedules, and we will see exactly what our schedules look like. It could be that we can rearrange our schedules if live is going to work better earlier in the summer. We can try to get that done. I don't see why we couldn't, but we just really absolutely need to see exactly what's on that time frame before we say yes or no. So Joe and I'll do that this afternoon. And we'll do that and see exactly what that looks like. And we'll get back to you guys tomorrow. It will be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be here or be square. We love you guys. Say bye, Joe.
Bye, Joe. Bye, everybody. Love you. Have a great day. Oh, hey, give yourself a hand.
Give yourselves a hand. Pat yourself on the back. You're learning. Thank you, guys.